Morning. Something a bit different this week. I'm on the banks of a very gloomy, misty, murky, drizzly River Trent. I'm over at Kidby. Kidby village is just down there. And today we're due a 5-star Ager. Now, the Ager is the River Trent's 7-bore, so we get a tidal surge. Probably we get maybe a dozen good ones a year, or forecast good ones a year. Today's forecast a 5-star one, which is kind of up there. So hopefully all the planets align and we're going to try and catch it here at Kidby and follow it for about 15 miles down to Gainsborough, where it starts to dissipate. Now, the only thing with the Ager is, even though it's give it a 5-star, it's very fickle. All the planets have got to align for it to be a good one. We could get a tidal surge, tidal wave, anything up to 3, 4, 5 foot high, or we might just get a little ripple and a tidal change. So really, we're in the lap of the gods and Mother Nature. Conditions aren't ideal for filming. Probably the worst conditions you could possibly get. It being gloomy, but we're going to see what we can see. We're going to follow it back. That way, about 10 miles that way, is the River Humber, and obviously the River Trent comes from the River Humber, flows down, heads back that way, gain towards Gainsborough, Newark, and then onwards. So the wave will be coming that way. At the minute, there's a bit of debris floating down the river, so we know the river's going that way. It's natural way. So once the river starts coming this way, obviously the tides turn. So it's due in about 15 minutes here, but it could be early, it could be late, but we've definitely not missed it because the river's flowing that way, as I say. So now it's a waiting game, crossing us fingers and seeing what we can see. So we're going to start here at Kidby, so I'm just keeping my eye on it, and then we'll stop at the villages. There's lots and lots of villages along the river down this way, so we're going to stop at various points, and hopefully we're going to get a good one. So it's give it 5-star, but in reality that doesn't mean anything. So the other day we had the full moon, the super full moon. It's a spring tide, but it relies on how much water's coming down the river, how much water's in the river. Even the wind direction can affect it. There's loads of things that can affect it, its height and stuff. I've not seen a really good one for a few years. The last few ones I've seen have been like a little bit of a bow, but rather than a wave. So the tidal wave's formed as the tide comes in from the sea down the Humber, and it kind of turns the corner and starts coming down the Trent this way. And as the Trent shallows and it narrows like a funnel effect, obviously that forces the water up into it, squeezes it and forces it up into a wave, and then you get the wave coming down the river. Right, so it's our first sight of the Ager. I really hope you can see it from here, as the weather's rubbish for picking it up. It's not the biggest, but like I say, it does get bigger the further down the river we go. It's just breaking on the far bank now. I hope you can see that. I have to point it out here. It's just breaking where that tree is now. You can probably hear it. There we go, and now it should come. Now you can see the river starting to move now. So it's just there. Hopefully you can see and hear it. Right, time to get on the move. It's going to be fun. Right, so we're here. Susworth is just down there. We've come a couple of miles down from the road bridge, because there was just barely a ripple there. So we should see whatever wave there is breaking at this point here. This is the confluence of the River O. I think that's how you pronounce it, E-A-U, O, which is just over the road there. And obviously comes out into the river. You shall see. It's just coming now. There's barely a wave. There's the slightest rise in the river. I can hear it coming down this side now. There we go. Just see this. There is waves there, but I can just see it breaking on the far bank. You probably can't even pick it up, but you can just see it breaking against the rocks and stuff. Right, let's go a bit further down. Right, this rain's eased off a little bit. Well, the drizzle's eased off a little bit, so hopefully it stays like this. A little bit further down, I'm going to get the drone up. Of all the weather it could have been today, this is the worst weather it could have been. You know, we've not got much of an Ager, but we could have had a little bit of drone footage. Right, we've come a little bit further down, upstream, sorry. Just over the river is Ouston Ferry. We're actually on the Lincolnshire side of the river, the eastern side. And we just come a little bit further down to one of the many sluices that's on the river. That's all this round here is agricultural land, as far as the eye can see. So we should see it breaking again down here. It's starting to narrow up a little bit now as well. Yeah, it's such a fickle thing. There's so many planets have got to align up for it to be a good Ager. I know we've got a little bit of a bow and a ripple in the water and stuff, but I say it could be anything up to 5. A good one could be up to 5 foot high, and then even the ones behind it. I think it's the Ager, and I think it's that 7 or 8 behind it. The 7 Ager and the 7 daughters, I think it's called, because the Ager actually gets its name from the Norse god of the sea, And the legend of King Cnut trying to turn the tide back. Some say he was sat on the beach and he was trying to turn the tide back on the sea. Now, others also think that when he was based in Gainsborough, King Cnut, when Gainsborough was the capital of England for, I think it was about 3 months. I think it was about 1210 or something like that. A lot of people think that he was on the banks of the river trying to stop the Ager, trying to turn the Ager back. Which I'm prepared to believe, 100%. That's one of our town's many little claims to fame. These ones. But the Environment Agency used to publish times, of when there was going to be an Ager, but they stopped doing it. And they used to put things in our local paper as well when there was going to be a good one. But they just stopped doing it. It's a proper little gem of a thing, this, and not much is made of it. Well, not as much as should be made of it. But the Environment Agency are too busy letting people get away with polluting our waterways now, aren't they? But politics on the channel. Yeah, a lot of it's just a waiting game. I say it travels about 15 miles an hour, depending on if the wind's behind it a little bit quicker, and if it's going into the wind a little bit slower, obviously. But before all the YouTube speed camera police start up, it goes about 15 miles an hour, and a lot of these, I think it's coming now actually. Yeah, it's coming now. Now there's a little bit more. It's more of a bow than a wave. It's just breaking on the far bank. It's just breaking on the far bank now. We should see it down here. See water rushing in there. Yeah, it's definitely definitely more of a bow than a wave. You can just see him breaking again on the far bank. We're in between Wildworth and Walkeringham. We're about 5-6 miles out of Gainsborough. I'm just going to go down here. I think we've got ourselves a bit better wave. And it goes without saying, if you do come and watch the Ager, please be careful, because this river's a beast and you can easily go in. We've got a little bit of a wave, we've got a bow and a couple of, but the actual wave behind it is bigger by the looks of things. If you keep your eyes on the far bank under that tree line, it's more of a big swell than a wave. It's just down here. Hope you can see that. Just follow it down. It's just a swell, not a wave. So annoying. So annoying. You only get maybe a dozen opportunities of a good in a year, and even that, it's like now, even then it don't always materialise. Right, we're going to head towards Gainsborough now, because it's quite narrow in Gainsborough town centre as well, and we should see a little bit more of it there. Gainsborough, my hometown, what once was the capital of England for a few glorious weeks in, I think it was the 13th century, and we're in the glamorous surroundings of Pound Stretch car park. So this used to be the most inland port in the UK back in the day. In previous times it's not been a very big wave because it's so narrow here, and you can see it. You can usually see it breaking quite well down here. We've got a few relic shopping trolleys, a couple of old quick save ones in the sill. Just down there we've got a new one joining the party. You see, it's pretty much in front of you now. It's pretty much in front of you now. Far bank.
Is that worse than yesterday?
Yeah.
Better yesterday's?
So that was the Ager. We've been defeated by Mother Nature, but there's a couple more 5 stars due in October in about 4 weeks time, so touch wood, we're going to be back out again then, and we're going to chase it some more and see if we can get a good one. So thanks for sticking with it. I know this has not been an easy watch. Thanks for sticking with it. I hope you've enjoyed parts of it, and I shall see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Cheerio.